Hi, Catherine here from Circle Art Designs. Today we will be working on Project 3 in our July Bargain Bead Box Series. This will be a Peacock Pendant Necklace, a combination of both a chain and beading wire. So let's get started. So the first thing you will notice is I have a little pearl right there. That's really a head pin. I stuck it through the mat so I would know where the center of my camera was. So from the Bargain Bead Box, we will be using the 8mm Lapis Lazuli round beads. I hope I said that right. Okay, I looked it up. Lapis Lazuli. I have to tell you, that kind of took me by surprise. Let's go on. Aren't they beautiful? Also from the Bargain Bead Box will be our 6mm agate round beads in the deep green. We have used these in a previous project. I just love all the shades of green you find in these beautiful little beads. Don't you? Also, from the Bargain Bead Box, we will be using the 8mm filigree style steel bead caps. These are just a stunning silver. And we will also use the 10mm crystal faceted coin beads in rainbow iris. I love these beads. I have never worked with these before, and they're just beautiful. And the crowning jewel of this necklace is the 33 by 20mm brass and lapis lazuli peacock pendant. I practiced, can you tell? This is just a stunning piece. I can hardly wait to work with it. From my own stash, I will be using the 3mm silver spacer balls. And from the Bargain Bead Box, I pulled the stainless steel curb chain. I did not go ahead and use this chain. I pulled a silver plated chain that I had of my own. It matched the silver in the necklace better. And from my own stash, these are 5mm rhinestone rondelle spacers. I wanted to add a little bling. The beading wire I'm using is from Softplex. It's a fine and it's called Midnight Black, and I love it. And we will be using number 2 crimps from Bead Along. And to go with the silver chrome of the 3mm spacer balls, I'm using 2 of the silver chrome wire guards. So as long as you accent with the silver chrome color as well as the silver in the Bargain Bead Box, you can use that steel chain. I just was looking for more of a silver color. So let's lay out our pattern. We will start with a 3mm spacer ball, your bead cap, your lapis, a spacer ball, your agate, a spacer ball, your lapis, a bead cap, and then a rhinestone rondelle. The next section is your coin bead, a rhinestone rondelle spacer, a bead cap, a lapis bead, a 3mm spacer ball, your agate, your spacer ball, your lapis bead, your cap, and a rhinestone rondelle spacer. Depending on how long you want the beaded section of your necklace, you will continue this pattern till you get to the center of the piece. Once you have this laid out, go ahead and take the wire, your beading wire, whichever one you're going to use, and let's crimp. I do not cut my beading wire till I get the first crimp on. So go ahead and take a number 2 crimp. I'm using bead along, and then put your wire guard on your wire. Your wire guard is U-shaped. Go up 1 tube, around the U-shape, down the other tube, and then bring the end of that wire into the crimp. Now with this bead along beading wire, I can spread this coated wire out some so that I do not get them twisted in the crimp. It won't hold if you get it twisted in the crimp. Now you need your crimping tool. This is a great picture of the 2 holes you should have in your crimping tool. The back one looks kind of like a little half a C, doesn't it? That's the one we're going to use first. Put your crimp into that back circle or that half a C in your crimping tool. Once it's in there and it's snug up against your beading wire, your wire guard, mash the handles down, and that little tooth in the middle will make an M shape. So now you're going to turn your wire so that you're standing up straight with your wire guard. Put it in the front and mash again. And this will close that M up, making a little circle. Give it a little tug to make sure that it's secure. And then taking your wire cutters, go ahead and clip it to about 1 millimeter or 2 millimeters from the crimp. Now, if you've laid out your pattern, you know we're starting with a 3 millimeter spacer ball. If you haven't, we'll go over it together. So 3 millimeter spacer ball, and then your bead cap. Your bead cap wants to go on so that your lapis can sit right down in that bead cap. Then your lapis bead, and then another 3 millimeter spacer, and then your little small dark green agate bead and a 3 millimeter spacer. See how that bead cap just cradles that lapis bead? So pretty. Then your 3 millimeter spacer again, and then another lapis. This time when you put your bead cap on, flip it, because just like it cradled it on one end, it wants to cradle it on the other. And now on to the next section. This time we're going to add a rhinestone rondelle spacer, and then we're going to add our coin bead. And there can be a right and a wrong to these coin beads. One side will have a different color than the other side, so put whichever one you like up. And then another rhinestone rondelle spacer. And now we go back to the first section. This section starts out with a bead cap to cradle your lapis bead. Then a lapis bead, a 3 millimeter spacer ball, an agate bead, a 3 millimeter spacer ball, and then your lapis bead, and then another cap to cradle that lapis bead. And this is 3 sections finished. We will continue on with the rhinestone rondelle spacer and that second section we did before. So just like we did before, rhinestone rondelle spacer, your coin bead, deciding which side you want up, a rhinestone rondelle spacer, and then we're ready to start that first section again, which will start with a bead cap to cradle your lapis. So we'll continue on with this until we get the length we want for the first side of the beaded portion, stopping in the middle. As we continue this pattern, would you take a moment to like this video and leave a comment? That would really help my channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, if you would, that would mean a lot to me. And spread the word. I really enjoy doing these videos. I hope you enjoy them too. So now I am at the middle of the beaded portion of my necklace. To put the bell on for this necklace, I'm going to use 4 of my 3mm spacer balls. Now, if you're using the Bargain Bead Box, this pendant will have a bell on it, but I have a fancier bell I want to use, so I'm going to take that off. So therefore, I'm just adding my bell at this point. But if your pendant has a bell already on it, you either have to take it off and then put it back on, or you need to go ahead and attach your pendant now. Once that's done, we're going to mirror image what we did on the first side on the second side. So we'll start with a bead cap, your lapis, your 3mm, your agate, your 3mm, your lapis, and then cradle that lapis with another bead cap. Now once that's done, we'll do the second section, which is a rhinestone rondelle spacer, your coin bead, your rhinestone rondelle spacer, and then the bead cap that's going to cradle your first lapis bead. So I'll speed this up just a bit, and so we can get through this and get to the next crimp. So I came across a website this week that gave information about what the different stones stood for, and I was really surprised at what these 2 stones that we're using in this necklace stand for. Lapis Lazuli stands for honesty, harmony, self-awareness, and wisdom. And then the agate stands for protection and strength and balance and safety. And I got to thinking about that because these are the colors that were sent in the Bargain Bead Box to represent the peacock. Now my husband tells a story about his grandfather and his peacocks, and he said they were definitely used for safety and strength and protection. But as I'm making this necklace, I also wonder, when I wear this and someone looks at it, what does that say about me? What am I trying to say about my own life? I think that is amazing. Now, once you've come to the end and you've made sure you have the same beads on both sides of the beaded portion of this necklace, go ahead and put a crimp on and your wire guard. And then we're going to cinch this down till it touches the 3mm bead you have ended with. Then crimp your bead the same way you did the first time and clip your wire. And now it's time to go ahead and attach our pendant to the bell. Isn't that a pretty bell? Now I'm going to use a medium-sized oval jump ring to attach this. You take the oval jump ring between 2 sets of pliers, twisting one wrist, it opens. Then put the oval jump ring through your bell and put your pendant on, and then close the jump ring back up, backing out of it in the opposite direction you opened it. It really doesn't matter in this step whether you put the bell on the jump ring first or the pendant. Just make sure you get it really closed. Now, if you're using it with the bell that the pendant came with, then you should already have your pendant on when we did the middle section. If you didn't, you're going to have to take that bell off, slip it onto the centerpiece, and then put your pendant back on. And now it's time to go ahead and put our chain on. If you're using the chain that came in the Bargain Bead Box, I'm laying that out here. So regardless of what chain you use, you're going to need to do a little math. I wanted a 26-inch necklace. My beaded portion is 10 inches. Therefore, on either side of my necklace, I would need 8 inches, including whatever clasp I was using, making it a total of 16 added to my 10-inch necklace. So because of the color of the bead caps, I went ahead and picked one of my silver-plated stainless steel chains that I have in my stash. This already has the clasp attached to it, so all I have to do is decide how much of this chain I'm going to use, take the loop off the one end, and clip it so that I have 16 inches of chain. This is actually a 24-inch chain. So I'm going to measure out to my 16, clip it, then I'm going to fold it in the middle till I find the center, clip it again, and then go to the end where I took the clasp off, not the clasp, the little circle that I'm going to use as the closure, and go ahead and put that jump ring back on. And then I'm ready to attach it to either end of my beaded portion of the necklace. Now, I am leaving the lobster claw on and taking the jump ring off because the lobster claw has this little piece soldered onto it that has the number stamped in it for the sterling silver. It says it's sterling silver. I always say it's silver plate because I'm never for sure. Jump rings to the size of the ovals in this chain so that they won't stick out so much. And then I am going to attach the chain and through the wire guard to put the beaded section of my necklace together. And we will open the jump ring just like we have been opening them between two chain nose pliers. Twist only one side, put your beaded portion and your chain together, and close the jump ring back up, making sure that it is closed securely. I just love the color of this silver chain, and I don't use them very often. I have a tendency to pull them out and look at them and go, oh, isn't that lovely, and put them back in because, you know, I never know when I'll be able to get more of them, but I just love them. They're just beautiful. Then we're going to put the other jump ring on. And we'll be finished with this piece because I used a necklace that already had the lobster claw and the jump ring for the lobster claw on it. If you're putting on your own closure, you will use jump rings to secure it to your chain and open them exactly the same way we've been doing. Thank you so very much for joining me in this beading adventure today. Remember, if you don't have exactly what I was using, pick up similar things and make a beading adventure of your own. This is a beautiful, beautiful necklace to do. This piece will be up in our shop at circleartdesigns.square.site. So stop by and give it a look. Can you tell the camera and I are in the middle of a battle and it's winning? Thank you again for coming along with me on this beading adventure. I hope you have a great day and a wonderful beading adventure of your own. Catherine, circleartdesigns.square.site. Oh, I almost forgot. I'll put the link in the description below.